Hello. I'm going to be the next school shooter of 2018. My goal is at least 20 people with an AR-15 and a couple tracer rounds. I think I can get it done. Location is Stone Douglas in Parkland, Florida. Alright, so here's the plan. I'm going to go take an Uber in the afternoon before 2:40. From there, I'll go onto school campus, walk up the stairs, load my bags, and get my AR and shoot people down at the main courtyard.
Yeah, breathe. Breathe. You trust your window.
Yeah, we're good. Everyone on the floor. We're good. Everyone on the floor. On the floor.
In this classroom, screams of anguish as police lead students to safety.
There is an active shooter working at Douglas. Multiple gunshots are being fired. We can hear them in the background. Our 911.
It began as an ordinary school day, and it was almost over when gunfire erupted this afternoon.
17 people killed in a mass shooting at a Florida high school.
One of the deadliest mass shootings in American history.
She was sending us texts like saying, I love you, I'm sorry, and all that because she didn't think she was gonna make it.
President Trump, you say, what can you do? You can stop the guns from getting into these children's hands.
The teacher would have a concealed gun on them. They'd go for special training, and you would no longer have a gun-free zone.
Welcome to the revolution. It is a powerful and peaceful one because it is of, by, and for the young people of this country. Since this movement began, people have asked me, do you think any change is going to come from this? Look around. We are the change. My generation, having spent our entire lives seeing mass shooting after mass shooting, has learned that our voices are powerful and our votes matter.
Arming teachers doesn't make the situation better. We know that adding more guns to a situation doesn't save any lives. The good man with a gun is a myth. More people died in the first half of this year than died in the landing at D-Day. More Americans died in the first half of this year. That's insane. That's crazy. And people just don't realize it because they don't see it in the same way that we see a war. It doesn't impact them the same way.
Good afternoon, family. Yes, I said family. Our pain makes us family. Us hurting together brings us closer together to fight for something better. My name is Alex King. I'm 17. I am a senior at North Lundale College Prep. As well as a peace warrior and a leader with Good Kids Mad City. Chicago has been at the forefront of gun violence for a very long time, with 650 people being murdered in the year of 2017 and 771 being murdered in the year of 2016. But that's not it. Gun violence travels in places like Florida, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles. It happens nationwide. I know many people who have lost loved ones, friends and family on a regular basis due to gun violence.
Nah, it's gonna take me a little longer. We gotta go around. Somebody got shot up here by Skips. Yeah, they got it blocked off. We can't get through. I'm about to try to come around Walcott or something. I don't know. I'm about to see if we can get around. Good Kids Mad City was created last year, so in the spark of what happened in Parkland, Florida. After the shooting happened, gun violence then became like this national emergency that everyone cared about. And so the young people were like, this is gonna be bad for us, because historically, whenever these mass shootings happen in these white schools, they get the attention, they get money, they get trauma services, they get grievance counselors, and we're gonna get more gun laws, and we're gonna get more police in our schools and in our communities, like we're the ones doing this thing. And we've been fighting against gun violence for years, and we're not getting any attention. So their thing was, we want to make sure that since now this is important to everybody, we want to make sure we're not left out of the conversation. Young people, this generation is leading the way. It's election time now. It's a big time for them to be able to make a difference, understanding their own power when it comes to things like this. A lot of activism, a lot of organizing is youth-led, is led by young people leading the way, because they're the ones fighting for the next generation.
In 2018, when the Parkland shooting happened, I decided that I needed to go out and actually take some action. So at that point, I took some friends together and organized a statewide march against the NRA and against a local organization in Colorado, my home state, called the RMGO, Rocky Mountain Gun Owners Association. And they are terrible for perpetrating this idea that guns are vital to our community and that we can't live a life without them, when in actuality that's just not true, and really having as many as we do just puts more people at danger. How's yours? There's a real culture around guns and gun ownership. Americans, look back on this very rosy-eyed image from the 1700s when we rose up against our oppressors and, threw off the colonial control of Great Britain with our, musket men and our regular people, everyday people who all came together and fought back. It's this very idealized image of, this older America. And that feeling pervades today, where we feel like if we can personally own firearms, if the Second Amendment allows us to personally, each of us, own a firearm, then it's going to somehow protect us from governments taking over control, somehow make us stronger and safer. And it makes Americans, look past the deaths that happen every single day, the 100 people who die, the 200 who are injured every day, and say, it's fine. We need to be able to own these because we need to be able to say that we're somehow safe from our government.
Can we just hold this? So I'm going to educate you for a hot sec.
But does anyone have any questions about the bills that we're going to be talking about today? If you see on the right side of your folder, you'll see there are two one-pagers, one on extreme risk law and the other on the CDC funding.
After I finished organizing the event in Colorado and leading all of those students in Colorado, I moved to DC to start college. And when I came here, there was no March for Our Lives presence, there was no organizational presence. And so with a couple of friends, I got together and we founded the first March for Our Lives chapter here in DC. We set up the infrastructure.
Like every year, the government spends so much money on so many things. Like it's about sitting there and figuring it out. It's about deciding what's a priority when 40,000 people are being killed every year by something, and we can't come to a bipartisan consensus on what is going to help solve that. And we've seen the CDC has done comparable effective research that's then been able to save lives.
It's real dangerous for kids my age. Bullets don't have a name on it, and there's different gang battles and wars going on. It's a war zone. And people would get revenge at the little kids just to get even with the older guys and things of that such. And people would use the little kids just to get even with the older guys. So it's like, no matter what age you is, you've been targeted. They're coming at you, and it's a shame, it's sad. I have plenty of friends that lost their life. I keep this right here. I lost a friend that played basketball. So I keep this like as a motivation. I always keep it right here. Just right here, Del Monte. I keep him right there. Just to like, these type of things keep me motivated and give me that passion to remember what am I doing and who I'm doing it for and the reason why I'm doing it. Like when we lost Del Monte, it wasn't a reason for us to hang our heads or be defeated and things like that. It just gave us that fire that we need and the passion. That's why when y'all ask me like, why do I keep the heart right here, the broken heart, is because everybody go through heartbreaks and things of that such, and I don't let my heartbreaks break me. I wear my heartbreaks now. I wear it and I strengthen it now, and it's something that I look at and I overcome it now.
Last night, 19-year-old Delmonte Johnson was just outside his brother's basketball practice near Euclid and 86th Street when CPD says someone inside a tan-colored vehicle fatally shot him in the chest and stomach.
It's not fair that so many black and brown kids have to worry about being shot on their way to school or on their way home from school.
I just want peace, heal the land. We losing too many of our babies. Every time you turn around, mamas is crying. Mamas is crying for their babies.
Johnson's family says he was putting together a fundraiser to help children go to Christian camp and worked with advocacy group Good Kids Mad City, helping to stop the violence that killed him.
Good Kids Mad City was created to keep the urban narrative alive. They're talking about violence and lack of what do we need for us to be able to thrive and grow. There's no one solution to the issue. So just trying to create new laws isn't gonna stop us from feeling what we're going against when it comes to violence. At Sherwood, but we're doing the training at on 83rd and Damon. So actually we got about maybe 20, 25 kids that'll be there. All right. So we're gonna do the icebreaker. You hear me clap once, you hear me clap twice. You hear me say shh.
Come on, guys, let's go join the rest of the team.
My name is Carlil Pittman. I'm the co-founder of Good Kids Mad City. Inglewood, born and raised, Chicago all my life. The purpose of what we're doing here today is basically in the climate of the neighborhoods that we come from, we experience a lot of violence, a lot of shootings happening. Sometimes, unfortunately, young people are around to see those things, or young people are the victims of those things happening. And so what we took leisure of doing is educating ourselves and educating our community, because a lot of times we are the first responders. They say ambulance are the first responders, but a lot of times a friend or a family member or a brother or sister is there when something tragic happens. And what do you do in that situation?
So my first question is, how long do you think an ambulance could take to get to the scene? Go ahead, DJ.
45 minutes to an hour.
Can you speak up?
45 minutes to an hour.
Anybody else got an answer?
15 to 30 minutes.
Okay. So the estimate arrival time is 25 to 30 minutes. Do everybody know how much blood is in a human body? Josh?
4.5.
Okay. So it's about 4.5 liters, which is about, if you want to see it visually, that's 2 pops, 2-liter pops. So how long do you think it takes for us to bleed out? Go ahead.
Like 5 minutes.
Okay, anybody else have an answer for me? Some ladies in the back. Y'all can guess. It can be wrong. It's okay. 2 minutes. Okay, anybody else? You got an answer? All right, so on the average, it takes a person about 7 minutes to bleed out. Depending on where they got hit or what artery was hit, it could take 1 minute. So if it takes the ambulance 25 to 30 minutes in predominantly black and brown communities, and it takes a human being 7 minutes to bleed out, by the time they get there, they already bled out to death. So that's why this training is important, because in situations like that, we need our people that are around us to be able to help somebody and save somebody's life. It's not guaranteed that you can save that person's life, but for you doing something, for you trying, you definitely can. I've lost a lot of people in my life, and honestly, if I would have knew this training a couple years ago, I probably could save somebody's life, because I've seen a lot of people get killed in front of me. Like Carlile said, as soon as that person is hit, the clock is ticking. They're already bleeding. So back to that person, if you had to perform CPR. All right, so when you're on your wrist, there's 2 sides. You could look underneath your pinky. You can look underneath your thumb. If it's underneath your neck, it's underneath your chin bone. And if you move down, you can see like down your throat, you'll feel it underneath there a little lower. It'll be behind your knee. You can check it, so there's different places, because sometimes the wrist is a hard, tricky spot to find the pulse. After you find the pulse, you want to start performing the compressions. Just recently had a death, April 15th. My brother Edward passed away. He was shot in front of his house. Bullets don't have names, and we can't pick and choose, you know, we just gotta learn how to deal with the situation. And I know a lot of people say like it will get better, it will get easier, and it really doesn't. You learn how to deal with the situation better each and every day. The people that I've lost to gun violence, I probably can count on both my hands and more. So it would be a lot for me to name people. I've lost people from various ages, as up to like 7 to like 35, you know. I've lost people back to back in the same year. And it's something nowadays, like I just expect to lose somebody. And I just, you know, I try to keep my head up, you know, and just hope for the best. But it's kind of just now becoming normal.
Okay. Is he unconscious? How do you know he's unconscious? Pause. So he unconscious. He does have a pulse. And the next thing you do is start pumping.
Compress, 30 compresses, because he's not unconscious, he don't have a pulse.
But it's blood all over this concrete.
Personally, I know it's not normal, like, you know, the stuff that happens, because it's not supposed to be. Like, when you hear gunshots, you're supposed to be scared. You're supposed to want to call the cops, you know. When someone dies, it's supposed to be very heartbreaking. But and where I'm from and where I grew up at, like, if you hear gunshots, the kids still play. Like, they still play outside. We still didn't finish enjoying our time, you know, and it's because they just normalize it. Like, it happens so often that people use it as if, like, oh, I just got a scrape on the knee. Like, it was just nothing.
I heard there was this joke someone told one time. Well, they said that Chicago is the only place where a young person can be dodging bullets on their way to school and still get marked tardy and get a detention when they get to school for being late. And it was funny, but it was so serious. Like, it wasn't like a ha-ha funny. It was like a that's messed up because I believe it kind of thing. And they get to school and don't even talk about what happened on their way there. So I think that it's a skill. That coping mechanism is a skill. Understanding how these things are so serious and just being able to walk through every day like nothing happened. Like, there's so much that someone can go through before they even make it to school in the morning.
We also, somebody could talk about the arming teachers stuff and asking. Yep. It's well, we don't have a one page on it, but we do have the resolution.
Oh, and then I stole this cool graph from JP, so we can use that.
Gun violence affects every minority population, every vulnerable population in America, and because of that intersection and how much it affects so many different people and so many different groups of people, we've been able to build a really strong coalition and also reach out to all of those young people who recognize that one day they inevitably will become impacted by gun violence. Gun violence isn't just gun violence. Gun violence is systemic, issues, systemic racism, systemic, sexism. It's about, the populace. It's about voting rights. It's about, LGBTQ rights. It's about the right to walk down the street and walk to class and not have to be afraid of a stray bullet hitting you and killing you or your friend or your brother or whoever it is. It's about the right to have a future.
Hey, do you have a minute? You said you'd be going into the meeting at 2? Okay, I'll give you a text. Thanks, mate. See you later, man. Bye.
The fact that we're kids is our biggest strength and our biggest weakness. Definitely the fact that we are young people and that we do have such a strong moral compass and we feel things so fiercely and so quickly and we act on it and we're not afraid to speak up has always been our strongest suit, has always been the thing that has made us different. We're not afraid to take those strong stances and to call people out. Here in DC, we have students going to Congress literally every single day and lobbying these members of Congress.
We have like 10 minutes left.
When I started, I had death threats. When I started, I had people, pushing me down. The thing I didn't do at that point was stop. I continued to push forwards. I got my friends together and we went back. I got more friends together and we went back again. And that's what it takes. It takes the realization that these adults, these people who are older than me, don't know it. They don't know what's going on because what's going on right now isn't okay. And they're the reason that it's still this way.
The unique thing about March for Our Lives is that the adults are afraid of us, quite frankly. Members of Congress are very afraid of us. And that's something we know and we definitely use to our advantage. We're able to get meetings with people who quite literally will never vote in favor of any gun violence prevention bill, but they're afraid to not be with us because they don't want to see what would happen if we were to call them out for not taking our meeting.
Okay. But 187 total instances, 38 deaths, 93 injuries, and then 15 teenagers killed or injured, 3 children, 0 to 11. So not offended. Okay.
We'd go into these rooms with these senators and with these House members, and they'd be surprised because we were these young faces who had experienced gun violence, not myself, my friends. Bringing them into those rooms, suddenly these senators didn't have the same kind of talking points which they normally had. They couldn't just shout us down.
Hi, JP. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Amelia, nice to meet you. So I don't know if Lauren talked to you.
We were powerful, and seeing that young people could really affect that room just showed me that across issues, across spaces, across the nation, we need young people to be able to stand up and actually make their voices heard because they have an impact and they have a real measurable impact. How's it going, man? Good to see you. How was the meeting?
It was good. We got a commitment for this.
Really?
Just this year.
Holy shit. Nice, man. That's fantastic. How you guys doing? Nice. Enjoying your day so far? Yeah.
It's very long.
Yeah. I just finished it.
like a father, big brother. I'm that figure, that extra voice that they might not be getting in between like the younger kids and the adults. I spend a lot of my time with the young people, whether it's taking them to go eat, going to play basketball. They come to my house, they play games. They also educate them and bring them together around issues that are affecting them in their community. I try to empower them to take lead, to speak at one of these events, to run one of these events, to be in front of the march. Just showing them that they are capable of starting their own movement.
Celebrity Marauders. Make some noise for Bishop
When you hear me say, in education, there's agitation, start taking your tape off. They're definitely connected, the two sides of the same coin. I think in order for you to see real change, it takes building that relationship. There are different levels of relationship that have to occur when you're trying to make real change. So it's one thing for us to be on the grounds, be grassroots, be on the field, but there's no mandate that's helping us to do those things. So I think having the right people who have those connections, you need that. And you need that to work together. You need folks who are actually in the field, who are living this on an everyday basis, trying to make a difference, and the folks who are able to reach those in power that have the power to write laws, to give resources, to send funds to these communities that need it.
Good afternoon, everybody. So before we get started, I know we're all noticing how the young people behind me are wearing red tape across their mouths with words on it. And just to show that represents either a powerful word, quote, or a loved one that they lost to gun violence while in the fight.
10-year-old DeKayla Dansbury was killed May 15, 2016. She was my friend.
22-year-old Edward James was killed on April 15, 2019. He was my brother.
19-year-old Delmonte Johnson was killed on September 5th, 2018. He was my brother.
Losing Delmonte was a breaking point for me. He was a young person we lost in Good Kids, Mad City. I didn't know how to move forward, but the young people were resilient. They knew he was someone who wanted to make a difference, and they didn't let that death go in vain.
Yeah, I really miss my baby. So he's here with me. I got you, Delmonte. Yep. Yeah, I gotta mentally prepare myself. Mentally really prepare myself because, I still sit and I hear, the certain things, I sit up and wait on them, I can hear him. Ma, I can hear him through my window calling me. So, I still have to deal with certain things, his little memories, because like you say, he's still here with me. Just happy, strong, and get through the day, because I can come and sit down and talk to him, maybe not in a physical form, but spiritually. I know you got me. I always say, Mama, I'm gonna make you happy. I'm gonna make you happy. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna make you happy. Okay, go to school, graduate, and he did. He did just that, graduated out of high school, everything, got him a job. Yeah, so, you gotta get ready for you, son. Gotta get ready. Think about you. Think about you.
Yeah, right there's perfect. All right. Here you go, sir. Thank you. You too. This bench is one of thousands and thousands of benches over thousands and thousands of years. Some bench has fallen logs or ledges of slate or edges straight from manufacturers of all kinds of benches, where people come to convene, cuddle, remember, forget, resist, settle, rest, reset. This bench is somewhere on the eastern seaboard of the United States of America. It's a bench I walk by every day and I hear rah, 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 until one day I tune in and I hear the most beautiful, vulgar poetry I've ever heard in my life. That's right, that's today, October 7th, 2019. I saw the Wall Street Journal on a bench, left behind by an investment banker. At night, a woman experiencing homelessness used the news as her pillow and a blanket. She spread the business tech sections across her legs, politics across her breasts. She adjusted her head on life and arts and used the bench itself as a bed sized for a queen. I saw a full life living death, her dying breath alive in her chest, an obit in orbit, a human worn and weary, a body left behind, an untold obituary, a journal, an unrecorded life on a bench.
See the map? You see where we are? Right there. Where's the rescue mission? No, San Pedro and 6th. Here. Ready? We're gonna come up on the back of it right now. Can you see our room? Count the floors. Count 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on the 4th floor. Which one do you think is our room? Yep. Over there? Hey, we're almost there. You remember this? Hi there. How you doing? Hello. Good. What is it? How are you? Here it is. So this is where we used to live at the Union Rescue Mission. This is the front door. Yeah, we stayed here 8 months. At first, there were so many families, women and children here, that we stayed in the day room, which is basically like a large dining room, large cafeteria-style setting, linoleum floors. It looks like a gymnasium, but we had air mattresses and slept on the floor for the first couple of months. So from September until December. And then in December, we were placed into a room. And because my daughter was with me and not my son, it was just me and one child, I was sharing a room with 4 other mothers who all had one child with them at the time. Are you ready?
Either me or Jackie or both of us go to LA every afternoon. This is about 75 miles, 80 miles from our home. But the longest distance is when we do Venice and Santa Monica. That takes at least an hour and 45 minutes to get there. We do this 5 nights a week, Monday through Friday. Monday it's Skid Row in downtown, and Tuesday it's Hollywood. Wednesday is South Central LA, and Thursday is Venice and Santa Monica. Friday is again downtown in the Civic Center area, Union Station area. The way we have designed our program is to serve them wherever they are. Don't ask them any questions. Don't judge them. That's very important. How they ended up being on the street, it's not our job to judge them. Nobody likes to be on the street, sleeping on the pavements with the traffic running around in a totally unsanitary conditions. That's nobody's wish to be that way.
There's a million reasons why people become homeless. It's not always mental illness, and it's not always drug addiction. Yes, those are two, I think those are 2 reasons that have a really negative connotation. So it's easy to say only crazy people become homeless. And it's easy to say only addicts and drug users become homeless. That's never gonna happen to me and my family. But the truth is, in the United States, most people are a paycheck or 2 away. They're one unpaid credit card away. You know, they're one payday loan away. They're one unexpected pregnancy away. They're one job loss away. There's so many reasons why you could end up homeless and unable to pay your bills and unable to keep a roof over your head and your family's head. Lots of people leave the foster care system and have nowhere to go. You turn 18 years old and you are out. That's it. You go from having no parents and just a foster family to being on the street. All of a sudden you're 18, it's like you're an adult, figure it out. When you're living on the street, when you are an unsheltered person, when you have nowhere else to go and you have nothing to look forward to, I really think that I can understand how easy it must be to slip into drug use and to then fall into addiction. Because if you've just got nothing else good going on in your day and you need something to make you feel good, I can't imagine that there's, you know, I can't imagine that much else is gonna make you feel good at that point. When you've hit rock bottom, it's like, it is what it is. I don't know. So, okay.
As an immigrant coming from India, it was very, very hurtful to me because I've seen poverty over there. But it bothered me here to see these homeless people who were raised here, born here, such a wealthy country of the world, the wealthiest country of the world, and yet these people are going through trash cans to survive.
About 45 minutes, we'll check it and stir it.
We have a program called Share a Meal. We basically take food, hot meals to the homeless wherever they are on the street of Los Angeles. On an average, we serve about 150 to 200 hot meals a night. We make it a point that we don't have them form a line. If somebody comes to the truck, fine, because the line, in my opinion, is kind of dehumanizing it. That's not the idea that we started with. We wanted to give dignity is the big thing with us.
While they're setting up the table and getting this water out of the way, we need to check on that.
Both the volunteers as well as them receive something. I would like to say that volunteers receive more than what they are giving.
With a napkin.
Take all your stuff.
We might be passing on a few bucks worth of burrito or food or some donations of clothing or sanitary hygiene kits. But in return, as a volunteer, what you get is an experience of compassion, and that compassion cannot be taught. Compassion can only be experienced. And you can't put a value onto that. That's priceless.
I was basically faced with that situation where the apartment manager knew I didn't have any way to pay immediately. But when I told her I was going to start working and I had family that would cover the rent until then, it didn't matter to her. She said that she knew I was going to go back to him, that she'd seen it happen hundreds of times before where women claim that they're being abused and then they run right back to the man that they're alleging abuse against. And she didn't want to deal with that drama, and she thought it was better if I just moved out. The manager gave me a deadline to leave before she filed the eviction paperwork, and so I left because I knew it was just going to be that much harder to find an apartment if I had an eviction on my record. But the day that I left the apartment, I did not have anywhere to go. I had a little bit of money from my aunt, and so I went and booked a hotel room.
I find it with the phone.
And I was staying in hotel rooms by myself, or like if I didn't have enough money, I would sleep in my car. And I would try to, like I had packed up and put everything into storage, but I didn't really know how I was gonna pay this storage bill. Like, how am I gonna pay, to keep the kids' clothes and their toys and things like that. And so I started selling things out of the storage unit to keep the storage unit. And then going and selling blood plasma. I was working, doing online transcription. So that was piece rate, and it was very, very small sums of money. I might work all day and make, $15. I had never been on welfare before. I had never been on assistance before. I think I had unemployment when I'd lost jobs in the past, but I had never gotten food stamps. I had never gotten any of that. And to go from having had a job since I was 13 years old to being in a motel wondering how I'm gonna get $40 to find somewhere for me and my kids to sleep, it was like an impossible, momentous. I just had no comprehension of how do I get to a homeless shelter? So that whole process was from May 15th of 2017, and when we moved into domestic violence shelter, it was July 3rd. So all those months were in motel rooms or sleeping in the car.
We go to the streets wherever they are, serve them, make them feel that they're fellow human beings, that people in their communities care for them.
Burritos, water. Hey, do you have any burritos left? I'm just gonna start saying water.
That's the start point, rebuilding the trust or the connection that they have lost with humanitarian compassion.
Refill if you need to. Who needs burritos and water? Yeah, put it like
Yeah, okay.
It's spicy, is that okay?
Yeah, okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Good night.
Okay.
You see the flashy city in front of you? We are 2 blocks from all the wealth of LA. And this is where we are, pretty much in the slums, a block and a half.
Have a good one. It's really comfy. And like how everything he does is for people.
Martha was opening like this, and she put it. Is that to share or is that yours? No, share. No, this is.
Let's go. And wave a joke.
Ta-da, you got all the tortillas.
I ate my
You want some lime? I know so many vibrant, beautiful, homeless people, and there's this saying that homelessness is a temporary condition. It's something that you experience. It's a phase of your life, but it's not who you are. You don't say, I am a homeless. You say, hi, I am homeless right now. I won't be forever. I wasn't before, and I won't be forever.
You say we're lost? Yeah. No. I've got a map. We're not lost.
Yeah, but we don't know where we're going.
I know where we're going.
But
No, back up, back up, back up. Thank you, Frank. You can help? Okay. Throw it in the basket.
go. Big flow.
Okay, that's hot?
Yeah.
Okay, can you steer me? Can we go through the aisle here? Thank you, Frankie. Thank you, helper.
I've never been homeless my entire life until a year and a half ago. I am on the street. I live on the street. I'm not sad. I'm actually happy. I work every day towards my dream. I don't look at anything as hopeless. I just happen to live on the street. I haven't found enough consistent income for me to have a place to live or somebody to stay with. And
improvisation is what we're doing, and we've been talking about this for a while. Improve is in there. We're improving. We're starting with nothing, with only what we've got. We're improving. Take the topic of homelessness. Josh? Go ahead. All right. Here we go, with the use of the topic homelessness. So we're moving around, right? Moving around. With the topic of homelessness, we are going to present a piece that we call Stop and Go.
Well, homelessness seems to occur everywhere. They try to go ahead and,
a lot of people don't realize, I think that word has a lot of shame or guilt or something surrounding it that hopeless. You know, I've heard the term homeless, not hopeless. A lot of people hear that word and it's not their fault. They just think that they can't do stuff because of that word.
This isn't the life I chose. This isn't what I wanted. It's like everything went at once, all at once. First it was my job, then it was my family, then it was my savings. I have nothing. I have nothing, and it's not like I don't try. I look for resources, I look for jobs, I look for everything I can to make this pass. And all I end up doing is passing time. Every day, recycling. Every day, knocking on the door of some church. But I want more than this. Someone told me there was more than this.
Oh my God, I am so tired of the smell of urine everywhere. I can't get away from it. Somebody give me some Lysol or something. It's not enough. There's Lysol, and there's crap on the street everywhere and trash. Somebody get me out of this place.
And we're not going to leave any food on the ground, but if someone is sleeping, we at least want to leave a water for them by their tent. And if the women would please take the feminine product, because that makes more sense. I think there's a bag for everybody now, more or less, right? Okay? All right. Yes, looks like we're good. All 11 of us.
We don't know if
The Jesuits. Have something? Okay. Here, yeah. Okay, let's go. It'd be a nice thing to give away. Oh, look.
You have an hour and a half to drive, right?
I remember everybody's name and their favorite thing to do in the summer. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. What Share Meal dedicated itself to is at least let's not have people starve or become dehydrated on the street.
I would love water. Thank you.
Like a burrito?
Oh, yeah. No, burrito, burritos.
All right, that's awesome.
I love burritos. Spice? Yeah. Spice.
There is no such solution other than to educate people that these are somebody's son, daughter, brother, father, mother who are on the street. We need to give them a hand. to get them off.
God bless. In one of the 193 neighborhoods.
The best donuts in Los Angeles?
The best
Donuts
in Los Angeles
is
on Skid Row.
Skid Row donuts! You're thinking way too much. And it's obvious that this group has been, like Eric's shaking his head. We don't think in here. It's okay. It's okay. We get out of our heads. We trust our instincts, our guts, our stories. Don't think, don't think.
Sometimes I look homeless, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I tell people, if I told people I was on the street before, they say, you don't look like it. But I am. I have a smile on my face. I'm happy, I'm excited. And I'm happy because I'm living. I'm living, I'm not making any excuses. I have interests I'm in, and I pursue all of them.
You're very welcome. People should not be on the street in the richest country in the world.
Probably a gang initiation or something like that.
We have some food and water.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a burrito, please. One burrito.
You got the spicy ones?
Yeah, one spicy one. Okay. You're very welcome. Okay, you too. So long.
I have a strong faith, believe in God. I go to church, I read the Bible a lot. I keep my head focused on the bigger picture. I pray, constantly pray. I do things for other people, that's a big one.
Goddamn shoes are too tight. Jimmy got me these shoes free from the Salvation Army. They're too goddamn tight. Where you heading, Johnny? Where you heading, buddy?
Down over there by the church.
Over by the church, huh?
Yeah.
Right on. You get your corn on the cob?
Yeah, I got my corn on the
Yeah, baby. Right on.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, good.
How's everything going tonight?
Tonight's nice night.
Sitting on the bench. Huh?
Sitting on the bench. You got it.
Little stories, huh?
Right on, Johnny. Thanks again, buddy.
Take care.
Love you.
Have a great night.
All right. Sweet guy.
I try and help people. If there's one thing you should do when you're on the street, if you want to get better, if you want to feel better, you got to do something for other people. You got to find some way to serve people. If you have skills, use your skills and what you have to help people. You do pressure over here. You want to join us for prayer circle? Yeah. Do whatever you can to help, to be of service to people. And that's why I think I'm so happy. One of the reasons I'm always sharing.
We thank you for tonight. We thank you for this evening. In Jesus' name, we ask you to bless us and fill us with the Holy Spirit. We're gathered here under your roof, Father God. We ask you to uplift us, to guide us at all times, Father God, to help us stay up and aware of your presence. Guide us in all our ways, Father God. Keep out any negativity and fill us with positivity. Fill us with love, joy, hope, and peace. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Have a good night, Right.
saw a full life living death, her dying breath alive in her chest. An obit in orbit, a human worn and weary, a body left behind, an untold obituary, a journal, an unrecorded life on a bench.
Please enter your password followed by pound. You have 5 unheard messages and 40. Message received today, 8:22 a.m. from 140.
Tengo un familiar hace un mes desaparecido y que venía por la frontera de Phoenix, Arizona, y no sabemos nada de él. Y quiero que me ayuden a localizarlo. Yo el 22 de octubre de 1973.
Message received today, 10:45 a.m.
Hola, mi nombre es Josué Molina. Estaba llamando para averiguar algo sobre los ADN, pero todavía no hemos tenido ninguna respuesta. Mi número de teléfono es...
Message received today.
Marina Funes, estoy buscando a mi cuñado. Él venía para Estados Unidos y no sé qué ha pasado con él porque él nunca llegó y lo dejaron tirado, muy seguro, y lo estamos buscando. Estamos muy preocupados hace un mes. Por favor, ayúdeme a encontrar a mi familiar.
When the historians begin to write this chapter of American history, it's going to be a very sad chapter, a very shameful chapter, that we didn't treat our neighbors right. That we made a mistake.
Buenos días, ¿cómo está? Mire, le tengo una pregunta. Quería saber si usted sabe cuándo. Tengo entendido que la mamá de Johnny dijo que él se fue en enero de Nicaragua. ¿En el video? Sí. Ok, ¿esa es una fecha correcta?
Sí, es una fecha correcta. Él dice que él les estuvo llamando y enviándole fotos, pero la última vez que supieron de él fue en agosto.
En agosto del 2018. Mire, ¿y sabe de la información dental de él, si le tenía alguna corona?
No, dice que no, que tenía sus dientes bien
Completos. Ok. Ok, ¿y sabe si andaba identificación o las identificaciones las tiene la familia?
Sí, las identificaciones las andaba él.
Ok.
Esas son fotos que
él mandó.
él.
Ok, muchísimas gracias. Buenas tardes. Hi, good morning, Dr. Haas. This is Mirza. Good. How are you doing? I just wanted to let you know that we just received a missing persons report from somebody that is from Nicaragua. Just in case you have seen somebody with his description, he's 23 years old,
Okay.
between 66 and 67 inches tall. The only distinctive feature that he has is a tattoo in his forearm with the name Maria del Socorro. Yes, I don't know which arm is because the family can't remember, but yeah, that's the only thing that he has. He doesn't have any fractures or dental work. He was feeling okay. He was just traveling with a group, and he came back to try to help pregnant women and older guy. And that's the last time that they saw him.
I found this can somewhere in the desert last Tuesday. Todo lo que le pongo las cruces lo encontré en el desierto, que lleva ya parte del DNA de la persona que comió de esa lata. Entonces ya esa cruz lleva algo sagrado hasta cierto punto. Las cruces que yo hago no son religiosas, solamente son una marca donde alguien murió. Una marca que tiene muchas ramificaciones y repercusiones porque esa persona muere y entonces esa muerte causa un gran evento en la familia de esa persona. Ya una muerte aquí, aunque nunca nadie sabe ni se preocupa qué pasó con esa persona, pero esa muerte tiene gran impacto en la sociedad, en la cultura, en ese pueblo y en esa familia. Hijo sin padre, mujer sin esposo, quién sabe qué pasa, ¿no? Of the 3,000 bodies that we have found, about 2,000 have names. There are about 1,000 that we don't have a name, but now they're doing DNA sampling, you know, from families and from the bones. So now we'll be able to match those DNA samples and identify some people. But sometimes all we find is just one bone, and the bone could be there for 10 years. So it's very difficult to make a match just from one bone.
Okay. We have struggled over time with how to examine these remains, what to do with the remains of people who we are not able to identify. We try to gather whatever information we can about them to compare against missing persons reports that we may receive, up to including comparing DNA to family members if we are in contact with them to see if they're related to the remains that we've recovered. About 86% of the people that we found have been male, and most of them are in their 20s or 30s. This is a demographic of people that are crossing usually for work or for family reasons, not with a large group of family members seeking amnesty.
When they start crossing for this area and the desert is where most of the fatalities happen. And it's different reasons. heat or the cold. Like, it's very cold at night and it's very hot at the day. Nobody can carry enough water to survive that trip. To me, it's so easy to connect because I'm coming from there, but it's also so hard to see, like, to see that people don't understand here, and it's hard. Every day it's a struggle because it's not easy. These people are dying, and it's just injustice. Nobody should die that way. Nobody should lose their life trying to get a better life or trying to help their family. They are coming from countries that are in conflict and very damaged. So poor people there, they don't have any chances to survive. They basically are abandoned by their government, and the violence. So it's, to me, many of these cases that I see every day, they are going to die there anyway. They know the risks and they still do it. It's because there is something really bad happening there.
Debido al incremento de la violencia en Chilapa, Guerrero.
Los cadáveres fueron recogidos cerca del mediodía por
el más reciente informe de las Naciones Unidas define secamente a Centroamérica como la región más mortífera del mundo, donde 1 de cada 50 hombres morirá asesinado antes de los 31 años. Se habla incluso de un triángulo del norte entre Honduras, Guatemala y El Salvador.
El triángulo norte de Centroamérica, con una población de 31 millones de habitantes, lidera junto con los países en guerra los índices de migración y criminalidad en el mundo.
¿Por qué emigran a Estados Unidos? Las razones son múltiples, como la dura violencia que azota a estos países y sobre todo la pobre situación económica que enfrentan.
La mayoría de los migrantes enfrentan condiciones de pobreza estructurales, es decir, una falta de oportunidades tremenda, un abandono del Estado total, en el cual verdaderamente consideran que una de las pocas opciones que tienen para mejorar es cruzar miles de kilómetros para tratar de cruzar la frontera con Estados Unidos.
Arreglen para que vengan ahí. Vengo de Guerrero. Tengo ya 15 días aquí. Estoy esperando a que salga mi número para poderme ir allá a los Estados Unidos. Y pues no sé, empezar una vida mejor. Primero debemos de esperar aquí, después te cruzas hacia allá y...
2 meses esperamos aquí.
2 meses esperamos aquí.
Y 5 días allá en la casa donde nos entregamos. 5 días.
Ajá.
Y de ahí nos pasan con migración americana. Y de ahí nos hacen la pregunta que por qué pedimos asilo. Ya les contamos por qué venimos del país a pedir asilos aquí. Ya ellos miran, leen el caso de nosotros y ya nos dicen a nosotros si nos dan el asilo, sí o no. Y dicen que, según, ¿verdad? Tampoco no sé, pero dicen que de 2 días a 3 días nos tienen ahí y de ahí nos mandan para adentro, donde la familia que nos va a recoger, que sea americana, que tenga papeles de americana.
Sí. Para poder estar un rato en el hogar y nos tengan ahí.
Ajá.
Bienvenido a nuestra clase de inglés.
Panchito va a estar seguro que no se me desmayen.
Hablaremos en inglés y le pediremos que repite las palabras en inglés.
We are in Nogales, Sonora, which is right over the border from the United States.
Good morning, Yesenia.
Denise, come on, Abigail. This shelter is called La Roca. Many years ago, when this was just getting started, our group of Samaritans came to help put this together. There are not nearly enough shelters in Nogales to take care of the asylum seekers who are coming.
Bueno, ¿qué quieres aprender primero? Vamos a ver, vamos a aprender.
Many arriving from the Triangle, which is Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala. Many people are coming from Guerrero because the gangs apparently have taken over. My name is Shura. So, you, good morning, Shura. Yura. Very good. Okay, is fast. Good morning. Tell me what you would do if you let your child go out to play. The chances of your seeing your child again were very minimal because they're going to be scarfed up by the gangs and by the cartel.
Okay. Very good.
I know that many people in the United States have absolutely no idea of what is happening down here. And they only know what they read in the newspaper, most of which is fallacious. We can't trust these people, they're all drug addicts, and no one sees these people as human beings. They've become monsters in the eyes of so many people. Come with me to the border. You look into the faces of the people and the children that our policies are affecting so dramatically. How many people do you think want to leave their home and their country?
Oh my goodness.
Tenemos 3 meses ya aquí en Sonora. Estamos esperando pues el tiempo que nos pasen para migración, si deciden darnos el asilo o no. Sí, llevo los papeles de mis niños, el de matrimonio, llevo todo, pues no sé qué nos vayan a pedir. De hecho salí ahorita con mis niños. Ajá. Sí, a ver qué dice el presidente, a ver si nos da el asilo. Más que nada por la seguridad de nuestros niños y el bienestar, porque pues por allá donde estamos pues está la delincuencia muy difícil pues y no queremos arriesgar a nuestros niños.
You're in my heart. You are in my heart. Okay, so I will see you. My mission is to do the very best that I can for the people and be very honest with them and tell them, you know, when I'm speaking to the migrants at the Commodore, I say, do not cross by yourself. It is too dangerous. And tell them the pitfalls. And that's the best that I can do. And I wish that I could do more. And at this point, I can't, you know, other than giving them all a hug and telling them that I love them.
There's a map put out by Humane Borders that it shows 3,000 red dots where people have died here in the Sonoran Desert. And when I saw that map, that's what sort of led me to this project, because I want to bring those red dots on the map. A map is an abstraction. It's not the territory. It's not the geographical location. It's just a map showing approximately where a person was found. You need the real topographical maps and the exact GPS locations to find the site. Este puntito rojo significa que ahí donde está esa cruz clavada murió un migrante que venía a los Estados Unidos buscando una migaja del sueño americano. Entonces, esto, como ves, todas las cruces tienen ese puntito rojo, porque este es el momento más importante.
So let's say Alvaro wants to put up a new cross for people that died in 2019. We can search those people. And then that pulls up all these red dots. So these are all remains that were recovered in 2019. Okay, so this person's right here, that I already mentioned, and then you can see on this dot all the remains that have been recovered in the vicinity where this man was. So different people use this information for different reasons. So there you have three different groups with different purposes looking at the same information. One group that wants to put out water to prevent deaths, and they look where people are being found to know where to put water. They want to put water where people are dying to prevent more people from dying. One person who has more of just a remembrance type thing for the Samaritans to put out, crosses, which is Alvaro, and then us who want to know if we have a new death or if additional portions of an older one. So just kind of interesting how groups with different focuses come together to use the same information.
I came here from Colombia in the 1960s. I came here to go to school, to go to college. I came here legally. I came here by plane. I came to New York City looking for the American dream like everybody else at the time. And I knew that I didn't have a future in Colombia because my family was very poor. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do much with my life. So I had to come here, just like most migrants. This is where you find what you're looking for. This is the land of milk and honey. This is the promised land. This is where you become somebody. This is what I do. This is my religion. This is my practice. This is my meditation. This is my opportunity to connect to the own losses in my own life and to be part of that migration because I am part of it. I'm one of them. I'm one of the lucky ones. The unluckies are the 3,000 that have died here, the 2,000 that have disappeared here, and the families that have been separated, and many, many, many more that we don't know about. I've been coming to the desert every Tuesday for the past 6 years. I need people to help me with this, so I have volunteers, Samaritan volunteers, who help me carry water. We leave water out here. Where we put the crosses, we need to carry cement, concrete. We are about 35 miles north of the Mexican border, and every migrant that comes from that area has to cross this road here. And there's no water. And there's no shade. You see the trees don't have any shade here. There's no place for you to get out of the sun. And that kills you. All we do is leave water, hoping that there are no more casualties, no more people dying here. This is the end of the road. We cannot drive anymore from here, so we are here, probably not very far from the site. And then we're going to have to walk, just like the migrant who died here did. So we're pretty much going to be walking the same area before this person dies. Let me see the GPS, see what we have. May I? Okay, this person was found on February 5, 2018. Skeletal remains, unidentified. We are very, very close to the area, to the site. We have 11 gallons of water altogether, so we need to save some for the next stop. See it moving? We are here to do something that is very close to my heart, to give someone a presence, to give someone a little bit of recognition that this person came a long way from home and died here, and the dream ended here. And I hope that the idea of the American dream doesn't die altogether, that it will perdure, that will stay. Because we are a country of migrants, and we need migration to renew our ideals and our notion of who we are as a country. Be very careful here with these rocks. These are rattlesnakes here.
Right here.
Stay there, stay there. Don't move.
I'm not.
Stay put.
I'm planted.
Don't breathe.
Yeah. Okay. So if you see a hole over there.
People in Latin America believe that when someone dies at that particular location, the spirit stays somewhere, leaves the body, and continues to hang there. And I'm hoping that my action, by putting that marker there, will, in a way, tell the spirits that we're people who care about, that we are humans with good intentions, and that we have morals, and that we care, that we are not people who want to cause any suffering. Yes. A little bit of water here. Okay. A couple of more rocks, and
Okay, we're going to be reading a poem, so please keep a minute of silence here. And while she's reading that, reflect on your own losses in your own life. Connect them to this person here.
This poem is called Desaparecidos by Tom Sheldon. Desaparecidos means disappeared. Your changes have been saved.
We need to stop the carnage. That we cannot continue to let people in their 20s and 30s die here, because you shouldn't be dying at that age. You shouldn't be dying when you're 20. You shouldn't be dying when you're 30. And you shouldn't be dying looking for the dream that this country advertises as here is where you find it. That's why they call it the American dream. But now it's not a dream, it's a nightmare.
The cry of the children. Do ye hear the children weeping, O my brothers, ere the sorrow comes with years? They are leaning their young heads against their mothers, and that cannot stop their tears. The young lambs are bleating in the meadows, the young birds are chirping in their nest, the young fawns are playing with the shadows, the young flowers are blowing toward the west. But the young children, O my brothers, they are weeping bitterly. They are weeping in the playtime of the others, in the country of the free.